When a Stereotypical Obby released in 2021, it instantly blew up, becoming one of the biggest horror games on Roblox. But it seems kinda normal. The first world record on this game was by a player called Boxies, with an 8:47.133. The run begins by jumping over a few gaps and also going around to the ladder, which was faster than just climbing up it. The rest of the stages are quite easy until he gets to level 10, when it gets a bit darker. Every game on Roblox has a level system, how the game goes throughout. In Stereotypical Obby, there's two level systems, the horror and the parkour. From 1 to 10, the parkour is pretty easy. You just climb over ladders and make risky jumps. And it has no scarceness. Most Roblox games go by this rule if they're horror. It starts as a horror game and ends as a horror game. But a Stereotypical Obby gradually increases its horror count. So the more you play the game and go further into the obby, the more scarier it gets. On this graph is the amount of horror average games do, and then this is Stereotypical Obby. A large difference. And compared to Stereotypical Obby, it's nowhere near at its peak. And this massive bump in horror in Stereotypical Obby is stage 20. After stage 20, the game gets way more dark, being the sky going grey, the music changing, for the entirety of the game afterwards. At stage 30, the screen starts going static and it gets a bit more horrifying. There's not really any change to the music, except it just gets more scarier. At stage 34, you could just jump on top of the red circles, as they don't actually fully kill you. And also, the stages get a lot longer. Instead of just being only like 5 seconds per stage, it's around 30. This ladder stage takes at least 30 seconds to beat, so it actually minuses a lot of time off the speedrun. On this chart is the average level length of the levels every 10 stages. And also being that the stages get longer the more you play the game. Throughout level 1 to 10, the levels would take around 6 seconds each. Stage 11 to 20, it will be around 12 seconds each. Stage 21 to 30 would be around 17 seconds each. And throughout stage 31 to 50, the levels would stay around the same length, being around 29 seconds. After stage 30, the levels don't get scarier, they just get longer, and once you get to level 50, you go to 51, which is the same as the level 1 when you spawn in. And now that you know how the game works, let's begin. After Boxy's first world record, they break the record a few more times. Now, Boxy's first world record was an 8:47. The last one, before her record was lost, was an 8:32. But I think first we should look at these, the timestamps. Throughout the first 10 levels of the game, the runs are equal. If you try to find a difference, there probably won't be one. When Boxy reaches stage 20, he saved 3 seconds off his run. When Boxy reaches stage 30, it's 4. When he reaches stage 40, it's 5. And then, whoa! The thing about stage 40 and onwards is that the levels get a lot longer. Like, way longer. And the levels take, instead of only 15 seconds to beat, around 30 seconds to beat. And And if you die around the stage 40 mark, you'll probably lose over 20 seconds of your time, but luckily for Boxy's 847 run, he only lost 17 seconds. But now, we should talk about Bullercatten's run. He got to stage 10 at the 53-second mark, like every other speedrun that's actually going to be in this video. And for the rest of the speedrun, it would only really stay 1 second ahead of Boxy's run. And on the exact same day, someone new came into the ring. His name was Speedrun. Speedrun was mostly in the background, quiet and always in the top 5. No one really knew anything about him. He was just an amazing speedrunner, holding at the time over 60 world records. But now, it was going to be even more. But he would only dominate for 3 days. Boxy's was then the world record holder. Once again, it had been already 6 world records Boxy's had held in this game. So, how long would it take to beat Boxy's? A person called Utterly Not Liam decided to make attempts on the game and actually beat the world record. But how? Boxy's run was basically perfect. How could anything change about it to make it 2 seconds faster? Even though it wasn't performed perfectly, it was amazing. It was so good that it could still save a second on the run, and if made perfect, it could save over 2 seconds. In the description of the speedrun, it says at stage 47, you have to make almost perfect jumps because the whole thing is RNG. You also have to jump flick and basically do all of that. It's quite hard once you actually learn about it because it's mostly RNG based. It's really hard to perform and you can't do it if you're on mobile or Xbox, making it basically impossible to do it. And eventually, the run ended at an 8:27. It was an amazing run at the end. It all started in Boxy's first run at 8:47, and it literally saved almost exactly 20 seconds. It showed how people have gone so far, and so that's where the world record stands today. Thanks for watching.